The crash site smoke filled the sky. The ground was black and broken. Metal parts burned in small fires. The war had ended here, but the silence felt louder than bombs. Anna opened her eyes. She was lying on cold dirt, blood on her lips, her legs crushed under a broken steel beam. Her hands shook as she pushed herself up. The pain shot through her body like lightning. But she didn't scream. She looked around. Spaceships, human and alien, were destroyed. Their bodies scattered like toys after a child's rage. Soldiers lay still. No sound, no movement. Only the wind whispered between the burning machines. Her name was Anna Ryle, age 24, a soldier, a fighter, and now. Broken. She tried to move, but her legs didn't respond. They were gone, not fully but useless. Twisted, bloodied, crushed bones. She dragged herself slowly, her elbows digging into the ground. Somewhere, a warning alarm beeped. She followed the sound, inch by inch, her face in the dirt, sweat in her eyes. A shadow passed over her. Anna froze. Something was there. She rolled over with effort and saw a tall, thin figure. Its skin was dark blue, like steel. Its eyes glowed faintly. An alien, not just any alien. A Zarnath, the kind known for killing humans on sight. Anna reached for her gun. It wasn't there. The Zarnath stepped closer. Anna gritted her teeth. "Do it," she whispered. "Finish it." But the alien didn't attack. Instead, it tilted its head, like it was studying her. Then it spoke in broken English. "You still live?" Anna blinked. "What?" The Zarnath pointed at her legs. "Trade. Body for new legs?" She frowned. "What kind of trade?" The alien pulled out a glowing chip from a metal case. "Power, movement, you walk again, no pain. Only price is self." Before she could answer, a loud bang echoed. A human voice shouted, "Step away from her." A laser bolt hit the alien in the back. It collapsed instantly. Anna's vision blurred, but she saw someone running toward her. A man, beard, tools hanging from his belt, armor patched with wires and wires. His name was Riven Hale, an engineer, a loner, and some say mad. He knelt beside her, checked her pulse, then looked at her legs. "You're lucky you're not dead," he muttered. "I wanted the legs," Anna said weakly. Riven shook his head. "Not like that," she coughed. "Why not? What else do I have?" He lifted her carefully, carrying her away from the smoke. "You have your mind, your soul, your humanity. You're not for sale." They entered a hidden bunker under the battlefield. The lights flickered on. Old tech, parts everywhere, screens showing maps and signals. Riven placed her gently on a medical table. He started scanning her legs. "You can fix them?" She asked. "I can try," he said. "But it'll take time." "And pain." Anna looked at him. "I don't care. If I have to sell my body to walk again, I will." Riven paused. His face was serious, his eyes calm. "Listen," he said. "I've seen people trade their bodies for machine parts. They walk, yes. Run, even, but they lose something. They stop feeling. Stop dreaming, stop being human. You don't want that." "I can't be a soldier without legs," she said. He turned to her, firm. "Maybe you're meant to be more than a soldier." For a moment, silence filled the room. Then Anna whispered, "I heard something. Before you came. The alien said something about me being a trade." Riven nodded slowly. "Yeah, because you're not just broken. You're marked." He showed her a scan of her leg bones. There was something inside, a small symbol, not human. "Not mechanical. Alien. It's not just injury," he said. "Something's inside you. Something they want." Anna stared at the screen, and somewhere deep inside her, a voice whispered, not from outside, but from within, "Return to us." Metal bones and human hearts. Anna opened her eyes to a soft white light above her head, blinking slowly like a heartbeat in metal. The pain in her legs was gone, but so was the feeling. She tried to move, and her body answered, but not fully something. Inside her had changed, and she could feel it in the silence. Riven stood across the room working on a strange glowing core, his hands moving fast but gentle, like he was building something sacred. The bunker around them hummed with power, wires danced like vines and screens blinked with alien signals. There was no sound but the quiet breath of machines. Enna watched him and whispered a question into the air. "What are you building?" Riven didn't answer at first. His hands paused, and he looked back at her with tired eyes. "Something for you," he finally said, "but not the way you think. You need to heal, not be replaced." She sat up slowly, her hands gripping the edge of the table. She looked down at her legs wrapped in white, clean bandages. They were still there, still human, still broken. "Why didn't you give me the mechanical legs?" "I asked for," she said. "You had the tech, you had the tools." Riven turned off the machine in front of him and walked over to her. "Because you don't need to become something else to be strong," he said. "Metal can walk, but it cannot feel. You are not a tool. You are a person." Anna laughed a little, but it was a sharp sound, not happy. "A person who can't walk, a person who was left behind on the battlefield. I'm just a broken thing now. If you won't help me become stronger, what use am I?" Riven leaned against the table beside her. "You think strength is only in moving fast and fighting and killing. That's not strength, Anna. You survived. You crawled through fire and blood. That's strength too, and no machine can fake that." She looked away, her eyes catching something strange. On the far wall, a door, slightly open. Behind it, a faint blue glow. She narrowed her eyes and pointed. "What's that room? Why is it locked?" Riven looked toward the door, and his face changed. "It's not ready," he said. "It's dangerous. Not for you, but—" Anna had already started sliding off the table. She fell to the floor, but didn't scream. Her arms pulled her forward. She dragged herself across the cold metal floor like she had done outside, her will stronger than her wounds. The door opened when she touched it. Inside, the room was cold and quiet. In the center floated a glass tank filled with clear liquid. Inside the tank was a body or something like a body, half metal, half flesh, and the face was hers. Anna stared, unable to speak. It was her same face, same scars, same shape, but the eyes were empty. She turned slowly to Riven, standing in the doorway. "What is this?" He stepped forward slowly, like approaching a storm. "It's a copy," he said, "a prototype from the program. The aliens wanted to build something new, something not fully human. You were part of that. You just didn't know." Anna looked back at the tank. Her reflection stared at her with cold, dead eyes. "I was just a test, a thing to build on." Riven shook his head. "No, you're not a thing. You're the one who made it out. You're the one who said no." A sound filled the air, a whisper. Not in words, but in feeling, a signal not from outside, but from inside her mind. Soft electric voices whispering numbers and symbols, calling to her. She held her head. "Something is inside me. It's speaking." Riven moved quickly and pulled her away from the tank. "You weren't just hurt, you were changed. They left something in you, and now it's waking up." Anna looked at him, eyes wide. "Then what do we do now?" Riven looked at the floating body in the tank, and then at Anna. "We fight it, and we stay human. The trade." The lights in the bunker flickered like tired stars as Ina sat alone beside the tank, her reflection broken by ripples in the glass. She had not spoken for hours. Not since she saw the thing inside the machine. Not since she felt the voice inside her mind grow louder. It was no longer whispering. It was waiting. Footsteps echoed in the hallway, not Riven's this time. Lighter, sharper, different. The door opened without a sound, and a woman walked in, tall, silver skin, hair like wires, eyes that didn't blink. She wasn't human, but she smiled, like she understood everything. Ina stared at her, unsure if she was friend or shadow. "Who are you?" she asked, but the woman was already moving past her. Her voice soft like music through static. "I am called Lyra," she said. "I came for the engineer." Riven entered moments later, wiping his hands with an old cloth, eyes narrowing at the sight of her. "You shouldn't be here," he said. "This place is close to your kind." Lyra raised her hand and something floated toward him, a small box, smooth and black, humming with a quiet pulse. "Inside, this is what you need. Fully formed tech, not stolen, not broken, alien design adapted for human nerves." The perfect legs for the girl. Riven didn't take the box. He looked at Anna, then back at Lyra. "What's the price?" he asked. Lyra smiled. "Nothing you haven't given before." Her body, her shell. "We take the broken one and give her a better one." Anna's breath caught in her throat. She looked down at herself, then at the glass tank. "So this is the trade," she said. "You take what's left of me and I become that more machine than human." Lyra nodded, but not with cruelty. "You will walk again, run, fly even. No more pain, no more weakness." But Riven stepped between them, his voice harder than before. "No, she's not for sale." Lyra's eyes flashed, but she didn't argue. She placed the black box gently on the table and turned to leave. "The offer remains," she said. "The code is already inside her. She only needs to accept after." She was gone. Silence fell again. Anna looked at the box. The hum called to her, a soft vibration in her chest. It felt like possibility. It felt like power. It felt like escape. "Why did you stop her?" she asked, not angry, just tired. "Maybe I don't care about being human anymore. Maybe I just want to move again." Riven sat beside her, not as a soldier or engineer, but as someone who had lost too. "I know what it feels like to want out of your own body, to trade your pain for steel, but I've seen what it takes and what it takes from you. You don't come back the same. Some don't come back at all." She didn't answer. Her fingers touched the surface of the box. It warmed beneath her skin. A light blinked once, then twice, then a sound low and sharp. A pulse that echoed in her bones. A message flashed on the nearby screen. "Connection detected." Anna jerked her hand back. "I didn't do anything," she whispered. Riven stood quickly, checking the systems. Too late. The code had already reached her. It was inside her now, not just in her mind, but in her blood. He turned to her, his face pale. "You touched it. Now it knows." Anna looked at her hands. They trembled, but not from fear, from something waking. A voice filled the room from the speaker overhead. Clear, direct. "Not human." Unit recognized. "Welcome back, carrier online." Anna looked at Riven. "What am I?" His answer came slowly, like a truth that had waited too long. "You are more than you were supposed to be. And that's what scares them." Her new legs, the bunker walls, shook softly, as if the machines inside were holding their breath. Anna lay still on the cold table, the black box now open beside her. Thin strands of silver thread had wrapped around her spine while she slept. Not wires, not chains, something alive. Riven stood at the edge of the room, staring at the screens, his hands tight around the control pad. He had tried to shut the system down. He had pulled the power, but the signal kept coming. Anna opened her eyes. They glowed for a second. Not blue, not red. Something in between, something not human. She sat up, no pain, no effort. Her legs moved beneath her like liquid steel. She stood slowly for the first time since the crash, and the metal beneath her skin sang with motion. Riven stepped forward, his voice quiet, but sharp. "You're walking, but it's not you walking. It's them. It's the code inside you." Anna looked down at her legs. They were smooth, silver dark, like deep water. They bent perfectly, balanced without sound. She took a step, then another. It felt like flying and falling at the same time. "They offered me strength," she said, "and I took it because no one else was going to carry me." Riven moved between her and the door. "You don't understand. This is not just tech, it's a key, and you are the door." Anna stared at him, unsure if he was trying to protect her or protect the world from her. She reached out and touched his chest. Her hand sparked. He gasped as the lights blinked above them. Something deep inside her pulsed. She heard it again. Not a voice this time, but a command. "Activate, locate, return." Riven grabbed her arms. "Anna, listen to me. They didn't just mark you. They made you. You are their signal tower. And now they know where you are." She pulled away, her breath heavy, her hands shaking. "I didn't ask for this. I just wanted to walk again. I didn't want to be a weapon." The screen beside them flickered. A map appeared. A red light blinked. Not just nearby, above them. In the sky. Riven's voice dropped low. "They're coming. They want what's inside." Anna backed away. She looked at her legs, at her hands, at the reflection in the glass. Her face was still hers, but her body was something new. Half human, half code, and fully watched. The whisper returned. Only now it was louder. It came from the walls, from the lights, from the floor beneath her feet. "Carrier confirmed." "Prepare for collection," Riven shouted for her to disconnect, to fight it, to resist. But her legs locked in place. A cold light spread from her toes to her chest. She couldn't move her eyes turned to him. "Help me," she whispered. "It's taking me." Riven grabbed the emergency override and jammed it into the control slot. The room flashed, sparks flew, the box screamed, and suddenly her body collapsed to the floor like a puppet with cut strings. Silence returned. Smoke drifted from the control panel. Riven knelt beside her, holding her head in his hands. "You're still here. You're still you." Anna looked up at him. Her voice cracked. "They want me back, but I don't belong to them." And somewhere above the earth, beyond the clouds, a fleet of ships turned their eyes toward her and began to descend. They want her back. The sky was not blue anymore. It had turned the color of warning red lines cut through the clouds like cracks in glass. Silent, straight, perfect. In the bunker deep below, Anna sat wrapped in shadows, her legs now still but humming softly. She had not spoken in hours. Riven sat across from her, watching every breath she took, waiting for something or someone. The screen on the far wall blinked once, then again, then stayed on a signal wide band. Not human. A voice came through, layered, mechanical, sharp like knives wrapped in silk. "Return what is ours, or Earth will bleed." Anna's fingers curled around the edge of the bench. "They know I'm here. They're not guessing. They're remembering." Riven walked to the console and pulled up the tracking grid. 12 ships, all moving in a circle, not above cities, not over military bases, only above this one spot, this one girl. Yower. "Not just carrying a code," he said. "You are the code. You're their lost file, their living password." She looked at her reflection in the glass again. No scars on her new legs, no bruises, no pain, but also no peace. "The aliens don't want your body," Riven said. "They want access. You are the gate, and they're knocking." Anna stood slowly. Her legs responded like breath. No resistance, no effort, but she didn't feel strong. She felt stolen. "What happens if I go to them?" she asked. "What if I let them take it? Will they stop?" Riven shook his head. "No, because the moment they have you, they'll rewrite you piece by piece until nothing human is left." She walked to the center of the room, and the lights dimmed as she moved. The system was reacting to her again. Not attacking, just obeying. Command accepted, movement mode enabled. She gasped. "My body is listening to them. Even when I don't." Riven grabbed a tool and began opening panels on the wall. "We have one shot," he said. "I built a blocker, but it needs a power source and it's going to hurt." She didn't flinch. "I've already been through worse." He placed a metal coil on her back. It hissed, it burned. Her body shook, but she stood firm. "Pain is still mine," she said. "They can't take that from me." The ships above moved faster now, closing in. Beams of scanning light touched the ground, and then for 1 second, all the lights on Earth dimmed. Signal matched. Unit located. Retrieval in progress. The bunker shook, screens shattered. Anna screamed, but stayed standing. Riven reached for her hand and held it like a brother, like a friend, like someone who still believed she was more than code. "You are not theirs," he said. "You never were." She closed her eyes and reached inside herself, past the tech, past the upgrades, past the pain. She found something, a memory, a voice from years ago, her mother. "You're strong because you feel, not because you hide." Her hands glowed. Her chest lit up, and the voice in her mind screamed. But she did not move. Above her, the ships paused. Their connection blocked, their signal broken. Riven stared at her in awe. "You did it. You stopped them." Anna opened her eyes. Tears rolled down her cheeks. But they were hers, and in the silence that followed she whispered, "They can want me, but they will never have me." The resistance. The night did not return. Only a dim gray hung over the earth like smoke that forgot how to lift. The sky above was filled with silence. Not peace, just waiting. Anna walked through the ruins with Riven beside her, each step of her metal legs pressed into dust and ash, but the ground still held her. For now they had escaped the bunker, its systems fried, its walls cracked. But Anna was still standing, still breathing, still her. The hills ahead were dead quiet, but Riven led without fear. "This way," he said. "There's one place left, the last spark that still fights back." Anna followed, her body tired but steady, her mind full but focused. The voices inside her had faded, not gone, only pushed deeper. They reached an old silo buried beneath. The bones of a fallen city. Riven tapped a code on a rusted panel. The door opened with a groan like the earth was waking from sleep. Inside were faces. Human faces, tired, hard, hopeful. They stared at Enna with mixed eyes, fear, wonder, curiosity. This is her. One of them whispered. The carrier Riven raised his hand. She's not the enemy. She's the reason we still have a chance. They led her through tunnels lit with wires and candles. Old tech fused with belief, a temple of machines and warriors. This is the last human resistance, Riven said. Not soldiers, survivors, builders, thinkers, and a few who still know how to dream. Enna looked around. These people had nothing, yet they stood like giants. You knew I would come, she said. A woman with one arm stepped forward and nodded. We didn't know your name, but we knew someone was marked. Someone would wake up with the key. Riven explained what Enna carried. Not a weapon, not just code, a path to either control the alien systems or be controlled by them. Aliens didn't just build her, they built a network through her. She could speak their language without words. She could see signals the human eye could never see, but it came with a cost. The more she used it, the more it tried to use her. The resistance began working on a counter system, a tether to her mind, not to control, but to anchor her. You will be the storm, the woman said, but we will be your roots. Enna trained with them, not just in battle, but in balance. She learned to split herself, to let the machine follow her, not lead her. She fell more than once. Her legs moved on their own. Her heart raced against itself. But she got back up. Every time the people watched, and slowly, they stopped calling her the carrier. They started calling her the bridge. She was no longer just human or machine. She was what came next. Riven worked beside her, silent when needed, loud when she forgot her worth. In the darkest hour, he placed his hand on her shoulder. You're not just hope, you're the choice we never had. Now we do. Above them, in the sky, the alien fleet circled like vultures waiting for weakness. They were patient, but not merciful. Enna stood at the edge of the old city with metal wind rushing through her hair. She looked up, her voice calm. Let them come. And the earth beneath her feet whispered back, we are ready. You're not for sale. The sky burned gold and red as the ships arrived. No more scanning, no more waiting. They had come to claim what they believed was theirs. Enna stood at the center of the ruined plaza, once a marketplace, now a field of broken statues and melted stone. She wore no armor, only a simple jacket, and the truth. Her metal legs hummed softly, ready to move. But she did not run. The resistance waited underground, watching. Through silent screens, Riven stood with them, his hand over the shutdown switch. If she gave the signal, he would pull the plug. He would end it all. Even if it meant ending her. The lead ship hovered low, its voice thundered without sound. Carrier present. Prepare for retrieval. Enna lifted her chin, her voice clear against the hum of the machines. You do not own me. The ship's lights narrowed like eyes. You were made by us. You were built for us. She stepped forward. Then why did I learn to say no? Why did I survive when your others failed? Why do I still feel when your perfect machine is empty? The air thickened. A figure stepped from the ship, tall, metal, beautiful in a way that was cold and perfect. It looked like her, same face, same eyes, but no soul. Behind them, the mirror twin spoke. Come, let go of your pain, let go of choice. Become peace. Enna walked closer, her hands open, her heart steady. The voices inside her whispered again, not commands, not fear, just questions. Are you still you? Are you strong enough? Are you willing to lose yourself? She stopped just a breath away from the twin. I wanted to walk again, she said. And now I can, but I choose where I walk. I choose who I am. She reached out and touched the machine's chest, and for a second everything went silent inside her. The code sparked, the alien network flared, and then shattered. One final whisper echoed in her bones. Reset failed, autonomy confirmed. The twin flickered, glitched and fell above. The ships began to turn, their signals scrambled there. Control broke inside the resistance bunker. The screens lit up with freedom. Every locked satellite, every blocked frequency, now open. Riven looked up, his eyes wide. She did it. Enna walked back through the smoke. Alone, but not empty. The people came out. Slowly, one by one, not clapping, just standing honoring. You gave them a second chance, Riven said as he met her at the city edge. She looked at the horizon where metal met sky. No, they gave it to me, he smiled, and then said the words that started it. All the words that were now more true than every hour knock for sale.